there's unseen footage of Han, Luke, Leia, and Luke. And as you see, I was gonna get into that later on.
But yeah, that's what I'm saying.
But so
Wait,
with
you
the whole
telling
thing
me
with
they're gonna redo the Skywalker saga?
the sequels, but we'll get into that later. Not yet. We'll save that for later on.
We'll edit this part.
Yeah. So we'll give it a pause. With your face like that, we'll just pause it for right there for a good minute, and we'll let the fans just marinate on that look right
I
there.
have a lot of editing to do right today. Hey guys, welcome back to the Solos Post. My name is Joel, the light side guy.
My name is Rob, the Rogue Jedi.
And today we have a special guest to me. He is family. He is a brother. He is a father as well, as you can hear.
And a working man.
And a working man. We want to introduce Geraldo Zayas. How's it going, bro?
How's it going, guys? Thank you for letting me come to the show. I didn't have to leave my house, but that's 2021.
So we're super excited to have you a part of this today, Gerald.
No.
As I told a lot of the viewers that watch our channel today, and we also throughout the couple of weeks, the reason I got into Star Wars was because of you, watching The Empire Strikes Back and all of that and the prequels and the opportunities that we've had to watch Star Wars together. Same thing I've had with Rob as well, going to the movies and watching Han Solo, the Solo story and all of that too. So just give us a little bit of background on yourself. Give us a little bit of insight on what's Star Wars to you.
What got me into Star Wars? I don't think I even saw the movie Star Wars before I even liked Star Wars. Is that weird?
No,
it's a mind twist. A little bit of a mind twist, though.
Yeah, so I think I heard stories and I saw a lot of like behind the scenes stuff, but I never really got to see a full movie until I had the chance to go rent it at Blockbuster. So
don't we miss those days? Don't we miss Blockbuster?
Yes, I used to watch 3 movies a day. It was bananas. But so I think the first movie I ever saw in full, with commercials in between, was Return of the Jedi. So I didn't even see New Hope or Empire Strikes Back.
Oh wow!
Before any of that stuff, I loved villains. That's I guess most people my age does. So Vader was technically like everything to me. Like he was like the most powerful being to ever been created on this planet. So eventually my dad allowed me to rent whatever movie I wanted. So Star Wars was the trilogy that I chose. And I was stuck with it. I saw Spaceballs before I saw Star Wars.
Oh, if you saw Spaceballs, for those who haven't watched it, honestly, go watch Spaceballs. And supposedly the second one is coming out, The Search for More Money. We're still waiting on that one. I'm sure you know what I'm talking about, G.
They're trying to bring back our man, so we'll see what happens. So, and then I finally saw the movies, and then the prequels came out. So I went to the movie theaters to see those back in the day, midnights. You had to go.
Yes, dude.
to the movie theater and buy the ticket.
And this was before. We're all from like the same. Obviously, we grew up, all together. And obviously, you're a little bit older than us, but I'm sure you remember going. For me, I remember going to Richfield. I think that's where everybody went to Starbucks because that was before the Edgewater movie theater. So
no, I'm so old. I went to Sea Caucus.
Oh, bro! Wow, Sea Caucus. Oh, wow.
Yeah, that's where I saw it. And when I saw it, it was the first time. Well, I mean, remember, it was the first time I got to see a Star Wars movie in theaters. It's the first time a lot of people got to see a Star Wars movie in theater. So I was maybe one of maybe 12 out of a seating of 200 that wasn't in cosplay. So we learned real quickly.
How legit it was.
Yeah, well, if you go big or you just stay home. So
that's it.
It was like, okay. So I was like, okay, so I guess I'm gonna be a geek.
Yeah.
This is my life right now.
That's awesome. So that's an awesome story. I mean, because you hear that, and it's funny. It's a different twist, right? Because usually you hear the regular, oh, I saw, the prequels. That's what got me into it. But you saw it, and you saw it on TV with commercials. So that's awesome. You sat there and you waited even after commercials to stay there and watch the whole thing. That is amazing, dude.
And I don't remember if it was we were living on Walker Street. I don't remember which house it was, but I remember there was a time where we still had the race car cassette rewind tape, and we would watch it VHS, and you would bring it home, and I was like, man, what is this? And I sat in the room. So I remember watching the movies with you, and I think that's got me intrigued, and throughout the years, just slowly bringing it back. And now really just falling in love with it. So I thank you for that. And now we have this podcast and this YouTube channel, which we're super proud of. And I think on behalf of myself, I'm proud, as I know Rob is proud of his dad and from what he did, and now the opportunity we have here.
Before we start, I do have to ask though. This is a question I had asked you before you were on the phone with Joe. I think you know what I'm about to ask you. If you had to give yourself a name, meaning like so okay, I'm gonna take this from Infinity War. I don't know if you remember the part where Peter Parker's like, he asked Doctor Strange, what's your name? And he goes, oh, we're going with our superhero names. Oh yeah, well, I'm Spider-Man. So I'm gonna ask you, what's your superhero name, and not our regular names.
I don't know if I'll be a superhero. I would most likely be a supervillain.
Okay. Okay. If you had to give yourself, if you had to be a Darth, what would your Darth name be?
Oh, I don't know. Probably something crazy like, I don't know, like Darth Asteroid, because I like destroy worlds when I swing by. You feel me? Like,
all right, Thanos. I see you.
Like,
I see you.
yeah, I'm. That's exactly who I would be.
Yeah.
I mean, if you know me, you know me. I'm Captain America, Spider-Man all day.
Yeah.
If I really had to choose, I would always go with the bad guys. So
yeah, I mean, and they always have the most interesting stories and climaxes and plots and everything, like, and they always give like a really good role.
And the good thing is that
stories, they just never really played it.
Yes, and the good thing is that
was like the first one. I was like, well, this villain got some backstory. And then when the prequels came out, we didn't have Google like that. So I was on complex magazines reading about these movies. So when I found out that it was going to be pretty much the origin story of Vader, I was like, okay, that's a must.
Yeah, it takes you away.
Oh man, it just shows you, because if, like I said, like I liked Star Wars before I got to see the movie, so I got to see behind the scenes. And what I fell in love with, I fell in love with making of movies, like the creation of it. So
that cinematic feel.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I read an article once that said that George Lucas didn't plan to make 3, 4, 5, 6 first. He wanted to make it in order, but the money and the way that the graphics was in the time wasn't up to par. So he started with 4, 5, 6 because it was easier for him to shoot. So I always
that makes sense too.
1, 2, 3 in a 7, 8, 9, but it, from 89 to what is it? When did Menace come out? Like 2001, 2000.
So it came out in 1999, because you had the first one, A New Hope, came out in 79, and then from there it was the 80s, and then you had the prequels come out.
So nobody thought it was going to be another Star Wars movie. He didn't want to make another Star Wars movie, but he understood that we wanted it. We didn't really care what he wanted to do.
How do you feel about this last trilogy that just passed?
I loved it. I mean, it was different.
You're the first of many to say that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't. Listen, I'm not expecting a global Golden Globe or Oscar for Star Wars movies. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm looking for action, and I'm looking for it to be quick. That's it. We know it was going to end. The Skywalker saga was going to end.
Yeah.
And they wanted to just pretty much just kill it and move on, which is totally okay. I mean,
which is what they did. So.
I mean, they could have. I would have loved it to be a little bit more detailed, a little bit more broken down. But you know what? It is what it is, right? I'm saying,
one of the things I always say is like, this is my thing. So like obviously here we do this, me and Joel,
Mhm.
and our take is to give more of an intake on these movies, the shows, and everything. But one of the things that I will say, and I always say, is that look, listen, any Star Wars content is good content, right? Because we're
Absolutely.
getting it, and it always comes out, in you always have like a gap. So anytime we get Star Wars content, it's just you're grateful for it, right?
Well, the thing is that it's the same thing with like the Marvel universe. Like we're so invested
Yeah.
at this point that it doesn't really matter. We kind of wanted to move on from the Skywalker saga because we want to see other stuff that's going on in this galaxy.
Yeah.
We already know that there's powerful people. There's people that are already born with the ability to do Jedi stuff,
Yeah.
who all this stuff. So like, yeah, we want to see that. We want to see what other Rebel people are doing. It's like with Clone Wars and Rebels, we got to see a lot of stuff that happened outside of that whole Luke thing. You know what I'm saying? And Darth Vader stuff. Even though Darth Vader was part more. I mean, I think it was part more of that Clone War stuff, but it still was the other stuff, the Mandalorians, all the other different states that were going against the Republic. You know what I'm saying? Like all that stuff. So
yeah, we got a deeper insight on what we didn't get in the movies, and I think that really plugged in. And now with all these series that are coming out again, like with Disney Plus, we're really gonna start filling in these holes so that we can see a different side to it as well, not only animation wise but live action, so that the younger the youth now can really enjoy it as well as us.
What's the name of the dude that directed the Clone Wars?
Dave
He has
Filoni?
the Mandalorian now.
Oh yeah, Dave Filoni. Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, God bless that man. You know what I'm saying? Like just
many coffee
do.
time with him.
Yeah. We need to go to the Luke Skywalker Ranch. We need to go to Skywalker Ranch.
No,
bro.
he's not gonna see us. No, he doesn't have time for me. He has shows to make. Let him do his job. No,
he's already doing great with it. They already got Jon Favreau, so they're good. They're good.
No, my man didn't even like Star Wars.
Yeah,
that's the crazy part to me. Like he goes in, he's like, I don't know anything about Star Wars, and he read into it. All this other stuff that, he was like, yeah, the stuff that George gave us was great, but the stuff that Lucas gave us, like the company was giving us, was crazy.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
With all the books and all the comics and everything that's happened. So the fact that he created the universe, he was like, they gave us a galaxy from far, far away, but we're gonna break all those walls. We're gonna bring you a Star Wars universe, and that's what he brought with with all that stuff. And
Mandalorian really, the Mandalorian. I mean, that really took us out of everything. In the cartoons, talking about outer rim planets and all of that stuff. Now we have books talking about the High Republic. So now we're going even deeper into outer rim territory. Then they get all these comic books where we talk about Darth Plagueis and all these other characters that nobody knew about. Nobody knew about all these we had a debate about the Jedi and all these other, the beginning of everything that has to do with Star Wars and where we're at now. And I think that's amazing and within itself, and the fact that they want to start putting that out for us and kind of give us
time. It's just about time. And I think now we could get into the TV shows, right? And I guess we'll break it down. So I guess we could go in order, right? So let's talk a little bit about The Acolyte. What is your take? Because this takes place if 50 years before the prequels, right? So this is before Anakin, Obi-Wan was around, Qui-Gon, we know that this is 50 years before. So you could possibly have, and I'll throw it out there, you could have Sidious, Plagueis, and possibly Night Sisters. Your take on that?
Well, it's most likely going to be something like Night Sisters. I think they want to make it like almost an all-female cast, like some crazy
that's exactly what
stuff
it is.
like that. I think it's gonna be crazy, right? So, like I said, I'm a villain person. So, the Rise of the Dark Side, I watch that 40 minutes a week. Any day of the week. Like,
that's Rob's intake. That's Rob's intake.
Dude, I'm dying for something Sithful.
Think about it. We're probably gonna see like the it's not gonna be the very beginning, right? Because we're not gonna see.
No. It's only 50 years.
So I want Bane. Like I want you know,
Yeah.
like before there was even like a Jedi Council. There was just some dude.
Well, that's the thing.
who figured it out.
Well, that's the thing, right? So I think that's one of the things I'm hoping it does touch on, because unfortunately at that point Bane wasn't around. But if we can get an arc on how the rule of two really became, because again, Bane brought it out, right? Because we know Darth Revan basically was the one who.
We know how it happened. They've discussed.
Well, yeah. But it's more of the sense of like now, like we know how it happened, but
getting to see it.
It's right, because it's not canonized yet. Like we hear in the prequels, Sidious talk about it, but now it's like you want to see it live action with Plagueis coming into the picture and Sidious. That's more like kind of what I'm expecting. You remember, like I think Joel, I had told you, if you remember how he actually kills him is pretty hilarious. Actually, in my take. The dude, Sidious, my man, after coming back from celebrating him becoming, Chancellor Palpatine, becoming the Chancellor, he actually, when they come back to his hotel, the dude who's all high and mighty ends up getting a roofie slipped into his drink, and my man dies. That's how Plagueis dies.
He didn't even kill him with like saber. He didn't even kill him like.
He didn't take nothing but a roofie into his drink, which is the most insane thing, because you're talking about a character who's so strong but can't even save himself.
They're gonna change that.
Yeah, of course.
I'm sure they will.
Yeah,
I'm sure
they're not gonna be like, let's slip him a roofie. What are you gonna Bill Cosby, the strongest Sith in the
Listen.
No, I don't think so.
No, I think they make it a battle scene. Maybe a battle scene.
No, I don't like honestly. I don't think you're gonna see that. Like I honestly, if anything, we're gonna see that before. So we might get Plagueis. We might, but
I think I think it's gonna start off with Bane, killing all of those, the Sith. So all these armies just for he can start the rule of two. All of that. So we're gonna see all of that first. Then we're gonna get.
I don't even think he had to, right? Didn't they all kill themselves?
They started killing themselves, but he went on like a bloody gore like thing. Like he was like, nah, this is not gonna happen. And he's like, he started chopping people's heads, like going crazy. If I'm not mistaken, I mean, Rob has the comic book, so he knows a little bit more into that than I do. I mean, we have so much information coming out from the Obi-Wan series, knowing that Maul is coming back.
Everybody,
your thoughts on that, dude?
Yeah, so what are your thoughts on that? Maul
I see
back.
Maul live in Disneyland, bro, Disney World. So I'm excited to see anything happen with this man. Listen, when they brought Maul back in Clone Wars, fantastic.
And Rebels,
finding out that he had a brother, fantastic.
Yeah,
you know, this whole other life, like it wasn't just like, because we didn't know anything about them. The man had 7 lines in the entire movie. Like, what if he had that? So. Yeah.
That's and the crazy thing is that's another character that we could possibly get in the Acolyte, because again, even though it's female based, the female base that it's supposed to be on is supposed to be from Dathomir supposedly. So who's to say we won't get a Darth Maul? Because again, this is 50 years before.
Do you think we'll get a Darth Maul, or do you think we just get his species?
Could get an image of him. Could see him for a little bit, a young version of him.
No, I hope we get something like that, because cool. it would be really cool to see his species outside of what we saw in Clone Wars. That would be pretty cool.
So I guess, what are your thoughts on possible Vader and Anakin supposedly fight of the century that Joel and everybody are saying that I don't agree with?
We're gonna see, because we already got the Anakin Obi-Wan. So do we even know if they really even fought again?
Do you? Okay, I guess I'll ask you this question because I've asked Joel. I'll ask you this. Yeah.
In New Hope, when he died, Vader seemed like he hasn't seen him in a minute.
So, and that's the question I'm going to ask you, and I think this will make sense, and this will put some sense into it. You think it could be like a force vision, in a sense of he's sitting in his chamber? Because you do read this in the comics, especially now with the new Vader series. You do see it a lot where Vader is in his chamber, and he is having visions of when he fights Obi-Wan, but in this vision, he actually wins. That's the crazier part. And also, there is another vision as well that he actually goes to Obi-Wan and apologizes to him and ends up trying to kill Sidious. Now, that's a different plot twist. What's your take on that? Possibly being in the show and seeing that.
It's a lie, bro.
We're gonna no. If we can't even see an ounce of good, because I mean, he's already destroyed planets. When we saw him destroy that planet in New Hope, that was like his millionth one. He was like, "What? That's another star. I'm good." And so we're gonna get Vader when he like showed people what he could actually do. So remember, at the same time, him using the Force and on everybody, they're also creating this like ignorance to the Force. Like they're making sure everybody doesn't know about it. There's no more Jedi. There's no more Force. I don't know what you're talking about.
Well, he actually goes
to keep all that energy to themselves.
Dude, how awesome would it be to see him hunt down Jedi? Because you see it in the comics. Yes. Dude, like now how excited. Yes.
So that's what I think the show is going to be about. I think it's going to be about Obi-Wan saving or creating a safe haven for Jedis. Because if you really look at it, a lot of these Star Wars, like Mandalorian, it's really just mission shows.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
There was just a new mission. It was like playing a video game.
Almost. Yeah, I mean, and I think that's what you're gonna get
to
with the Book of Boba.
Video game.
And I think you'll get that with the Book of Boba as well. I mean, it's cool that they're all gonna intertwine. That's pretty cool. It's kind of gonna be like the DC universe. I'm sure I don't know if you watch DC, but it's like what is it, Channel 11, where they have all the shows kind of combined, which is kind of cool. Yeah. I think that's gonna be really awesome.
The flashpoints.
Yeah. I think that's gonna be really dope. All right, so the next show that we have is the Book of Boba, right? Because then after that comes Mando. I'm not really going on the we could go on the animated show. Yeah, if you want to go on the animated show, what do are you excited for the Bad Batch? Like that's the show obviously coming out on May the 4th. What are your thoughts on that? And yeah, Joel, you both can attest to this.
We know you like Bad Batch.
Yes, we know, dude. Are you excited? Do you like the show?
Yeah, I mean, it is what it is. I mean, it isn't
gonna be on, bro. Like,
dude, that's the same attitude I have. That's the same attitude I have.
You're as big as Wrecker. Like, he is. Never mind. You know what? Forget
it. Bad Batch was cool. 12 episodes, 9 episodes. I don't know. I don't know.
I think it's gonna be super important. I think it's gonna be super important. It's right after Order 66. Like, we're gonna understand different things about them.
But if you think about it, but
in general.
But Joel, the thing, I guess that's where I think me and Geraldo could agree here with this. We've already had clones already for so long. I don't know if you agree with this, dude. I just feel like I want to see something different. I'm cool. Look, listen, we had Delta Squad during the Clone Wars. That was a whole nother thing. Commandos. We're getting Bad Batch. It's cool and everything. I have no problem with it. But for me, I just want to see something different. I don't want to see clones again. I'm not knocking it. Listen, I know people are in love with the Bad Batch. It's great and that's cool. And it's a good show because you might get characters like, who knows, we could get Maul in it.
Careful, you can't possibly half of our subscribers are clone enthusiasts.
Yeah, I know. Everybody loves Bad Batch. I mean, dude, your video that you posted about the helmet got like 145 views. So people love it. But I'm just saying for myself,
told you.
Although I don't know if you agree with it, but
don't bash it. We need views in this video.
I know, right?
No, I think Bad Batch it's not a bad.
No, not that it's a bad show. It's just I just feel like that it's something I'm not excited for. Like I'm not like
and subscribe,
oh my gosh.
The thing about it is that that's the thing about Star Wars, right? So like anything is possible now.
Yeah. So it could flip the switch.
Exactly. Like it'll be a banger. You never know. It could be like, oh, I have to see this next week. I gotta see this next week.
Yeah. I mean, I'm still gonna watch it.
I personally would have loved to see the Bad Batch in live action.
Yeah, I think that would be cool.
I think not like a whole series, but like in the shows that are coming out, like we could see the Bad Batch, hear about the Bad Batch, like see. Yeah. Because I think the animation is fine, but nine episodes.
Guys,
might be stretching it.
Just understand this.
So
Filoni is like taking really. This is like one of his first. That's why I've from what I've heard, the reason that this is one of the first shows they're coming out with is because he's had this written for a very long time.
Yeah, he did.
This is like a baby to him. And as you know, his babies don't fail. Ahsoka.
I mean, Ahsoka was okay.
Oh, guys,
That
whoa.
that episode was
whoa, dude. We have too many Ahsoka followers, dude. This is the part where we gotta cut it off, bro. Okay, this part we do not show to the fans, bro, because we're gonna lose so many subscribers, dude, in a matter of a minute, bro. The fact that you just
They're
said
like,
that, that's a
our-
no-no.
Our algorithm is gonna be like, for some reason,
Bro.
you're literally
No,
50% lower than last
the-
week.
the show is gonna be bomb. The show's gonna be killer.
So, all right, the Book of Boba, dude. What are you expecting for that one? That's another live action series. That's the next one from what we're understanding. What are your takes on that?
Do you think it's a Mandalorian season 3 and Mandalorian the next one is gonna just be
No, I
a
think
season
they,
4
No.
for it?
Well, they
did
announced it now.
confirm already.
I know
it's
that we
not a
announced it. I'm
season
just saying
three
like it's gonna
yet,
be the same.
No, I think we're going to see a little bit of what happened to Boba in the beginning, and how he got to where he is now.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's
and
going to be a lot of
also,
flashbacks.
I think the beginning would be like that, but I think towards the end it will go into
His
the
reign on
reason why he
Tatooine.
wants it, the reason why he wanted his stuff back. You know, why is he working with this other bounty hunter? You know, I feel like, and now he's going to use Mando to help him do whatever he needs to do.
Well,
to
he
take
owes
it into
him.
season 3.
Well, Mando owes him now, basically. You know,
Yeah.
Well, that's
as
what
well.
I'm saying. Like, so I think we're gonna show Boba how he got there, where he is now, and then take that into season 3 of Mando, and then Mando's gonna take off. Because
So
the
you think
truth is, Mando,
so you think everything is integrated?
It is.
Yeah,
Well, yeah, we
100%.
already know that.
Is
Yeah,
it isn't
yeah,
it isn't it so from my understanding is he kills this guy on Tatooine. He takes over Jabba the Hutt's basically reign over
Yeah.
Tatooine. And then
Yeah.
that's where we start the show. Now I understand we will get flashbacks.
Yeah.
For sure we will get flashbacks. What we think what we're gonna see is just the same thing we've been seeing with Mando. Bounty hunting, all that stuff.
A lot of side missions.
Yeah, I
It's
think
just
it's
more
gonna be a lot
side
of
missions.
side
And I think you're going to see a little bit. I mean, they're going to obviously invest more in Boba because I think he is a character that everybody loves. And people are
And
going to be
they
excited
missed
to
the
see
mark
that.
on him.
yeah,
and-
like
and
the
it-
original people
and-
like us,
yeah.
we're gonna like Boba. We're gonna watch Boba.
Right,
So I feel
right,
like
right.
they're gonna. I'm telling you, I think they're gonna just tie it into the Mando.
And I think it's
And
going to be a lot. It's going to be a lot of, I think, him talking about, I think we're going to see too, dude, how awesome would it be that he ends up going to look for, like if this was a thing, he was looking for Mace Windu. Like that would be so funny to look for the guy who killed his father. That's another thing because remember they didn't touch on this obviously in the OT in the original trilogy. But how cool would that be? And then that could be a possible thing where maybe Mace Windu comes back. Just saying that could be a thing, even
It's
though I
just
don't
too
see it
soon
happening.
because it comes out in December, right?
That's what they're saying. I don't
So
know.
then
Who knows?
we would already found out. I mean, leaks have been coming out like crazy.
I mean, they have been saying, listen, I mean, you did see it on StarWars.com. We talked on it, where they put up a picture of Samuel Jackson and, him playing Mace Windu and saying, I think, what is it? I'll see you soon or something like that.
Something crazy, yeah.
Yeah, something crazy like that.
How do you feel about that?
Man?
How do you feel about that, Geraldo? Do you feel like Mace Windu would be a good addition? Nope.
Yes.
Hands down. I knew he was going to say it.
My lightsaber's purple.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. I knew that was going to fall right into your thing.
I was like, yes,
yeah.
Bring him in.
Bring him in. Dude, that would be dope.
I think we needed more Samuel L. Jackson, to be honest. I don't know why.
I think so too. And how awesome would it be? How awesome would this be? Like if the show ended, like the way he killed his father, this is the same way he kills him. Like, aim for the head. That would be dope.
No, I mean, he's dead at this point, right? Well, we didn't really know. People
we don't really know. I mean, listen, Maul survived.
Caught a hoverboard and
listen, Maul survived and he got cut right here. Maul got cut right by his heart. So if he could survive that, dude, Samuel
nobody. What is it? Nobody. No. If you can't see the body, you don't know if he's dead or alive.
Dude, everybody survives.
Give it up for Lucas.
Everybody survives.
Well, look at Boba. Boba got eaten by the whole damn desert.
Yeah. So if he survived that, dude, anything is possible. I think it's also going to touch on to the arc of him, since he's not really a Mandalorian. He's not really a Mandalorian. He's just a clone. So I think it's going to touch a lot on that too, on that arc. And I think it's going to touch on to the past of his father, because again, he obviously is the actor who played Jango Fett. So it's easy to kind of take that and turn it into a flashback and touch on.
They didn't
Jango
have
Fett past.
I know that they put that in there when he was talking to Mando and he had the hologram come up and it talked about the armor, where it came from and everything about it. I think that has a crucial meaning to what's is going to happen in the Book of Boba for sure. Then the next question that I want to go just real back to Obi-Wan.
Yeah, go for it, bro.
Qui-Gon. Do you think we'll get a Qui-Gon?
Oh yeah, dude, that was a question. Yeah, I missed that
I would
one.
love
Yeah.
to see Nielsen. I hope so.
Well, he did say he'd be down for it. He said he would be down for a role. Yeah, so that would be exciting.
Now, if they do bring him in,
it would be Ghost. It wouldn't be him, but I'll take it.
I said I would even take the intro to the show.
Yeah, we said that. Yeah,
with titles or whatever, just his voice speaking to him with what Yoda told him to do.
So told Obi-Wan to do, right? To go on Tatooine, and he'll meet his good old friend there, and he'll show him, and then that was where he was like, "Oh wow, I didn't even know I could still talk to him." So that'd be kind of cool.
That's how it's gonna end. I think Obi-Wan's gonna go through his thing, and then he's finally gonna be safe, right? Because remember, like if he's out there looking for Jedis, that means Darth Vader's looking for Obi. So at one point,
we know that for sure.
Yeah, at one point that is done.
Well, remember this takes place. I think it would be more of an opening, just because, again, opinion based, just because we do know that it takes place 10 years after. So like that time of Rebels, as you see, it takes place at that time. So I'm thinking more of an opening, kind of like what Joel said. I mean, we touched on this on one of the episodes, but I see it as an opening scene where it's dark. You see Obi-Wan in his secluded state, basically wondering where he went wrong with Anakin or why it went wrong. And I have a feeling, I still believe Anakin was the chosen one. I just feel like that things just went wrong, that Obi-Wan couldn't really what's the word? Basically couldn't finish. He couldn't finish the job. Because I think it was Qui-Gon's mission before that.
It was Qui-Gon's mission for sure.
It was really more Qui-Gon's mission, I feel like, and I just feel like everything just went the wrong way. So much doubt. I mean, look at Duchess Satine. I mean, he had a relationship with her, which made no sense. And then he would get on Anakin. I'm sure you remember that. He'd get on Anakin for them. That was one of the things that, he kind of got upset about. And that's why you see a lot of the turn. But so many things.
There was a lot of things that didn't make sense. There was a little plot holes. But yeah, I mean, that's one. I think that's what actually made the story of like, he wasn't fully trained yet, even though Qui-Gon, whatever, felt like he still wasn't there yet. And that's what I think that's what we're going to see in the Obi-Wan series.
I guess we could go into Ahsoka now, right?
Yeah.
So, this is the part, guys, where unfortunately we are going to lose some subscribers and some followers.
No, God! No, God, please, no! 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 No!
What are your thoughts, dude, on Ahsoka as a whole, starting from the Clone Wars to Rebels to Mando to the live action series of Ahsoka Tano? Floor is yours, my guy. Darth Asteroid.
I'm excited to see Ahsoka. So I think she looked great.
We're getting some followers back. They're not leaving. Okay.
I got the makeup and everything look good on the show. So I'm excited to see that. Like I told you guys, I like the fact it's behind the scenes stuff. So for me, when y'all watch the show, I watch it very differently. But I'm excited to see what they're gonna do with that, because I mean, she's still got a lot of growth to. Well, she's older now, so we're gonna see a lot of the growth that she already had.
I'm edging on right now. Sorry.
Yeah. And she's kind of still trying to save people when we last saw her in Rebels. So, I want to see what she's been doing the last, 10, 15 years.
I guess I'll put the explanation out there for the whole Filoniverse and what I thought and what I read up and saw. So this is my theory. I feel like it wasn't the World Between Worlds that started this Filoniverse, meaning the whole change. Because again, it was before that. I believe when we got the Clone Wars, that is when we got the change of the Filoniverse starting. Because I feel like since then he knew what he was doing. And this is more to get your intake if you agree or not. If you remember in Revenge of the Sith, the Clone Wars, Anakin could not have a Padawan. That was a thing that was forbidden, right? You remember that. In the Filoniverse, in the Clone Wars and all that stuff, he has a Padawan because that he was technically okay. Ahsoka was supposed to be Plo Koon's, then Obi-Wan. Now it goes to Anakin, which made no sense, and that was kind of like a flaw in it. But I don't think it was a flaw. I think Dave Filoni knew what he was doing. Cool. All right. So now we know that Anakin can have a Padawan, right? Awesome. Now you see that she is around, right? She exists. Then you see also now in Rebels, as you see, she ends up dying at the hands of Vader. Technically, that was her death, but ends up getting brought back by the sisters and also by
the sister,
Mormon,
the sister of
right,
yeah,
right, right,
of the
right,
light,
the
of the
son, right.
Force.
Right, and then you see Ezra basically save her and take her out. So that was like basically her coming back, and that's the world between worlds. That's what started everything right there. So now that changes the timeline. Do you think that that's a possibility of like seeing something totally different? And that's why they're saying we're going to get a new reboot. Talking about this reboot, that's where the whole reboot comes in, and that's why we're getting Luke now in a different scene and in a different aura, and we're seeing a Luke that is more stronger, I would say.
Okay.
Because we've never seen Luke fight like this. It's a different
fighting
style.
We see him as a Jedi, pretty much.
Right. We've seen him as a Jedi, but I'm just saying in a sense of you remember the original trilogy, his fighting style is not like that. When you watch Mando, it was just basically like kind of like if you could compare the Vader scene and Luke's scene, it's two totally different ideas of what Vader and Luke were compared to the original trilogy.
Well, the original trilogy didn't have, they had some guy with who played with swords in his backyard.
That's what I'm saying.
So, the part when Luke's like walking by, or I think it's Vader, I don't remember, and they cut the cord on the floor, and it's like, that was the most exciting thing they did.
It really was, dude. It really was.
They were like, yo, that's crazy.
A lightsaber could do that. Who would have thought, right?
You know what I'm saying? So,
other than getting an arm chopped off, that was awesome.
And the reason we didn't have, and again, Lucas knew that he knew what kind of fighting he wanted the lightsaber. It was an extension of themselves, so he knew he couldn't do that.
And also too, the kind of like what you said before, the technology. I mean, if you see like the original, if you see A New Hope, I mean, it looks really cheesy. I mean, with the Death Star blowing up, that just looks crazy. It looks like somebody was holding a string on it. And it just blew up.
For the time, it was nuts, right?
Yeah, no, for the time, that was like the most advanced they've ever seen a movie at that point.
And the same thing happened with the prequels. Like, that's why the prequels, people are like, oh, it's so bad. But I was like, here's a guy who got this new piece of technology. He can do whatever he wants with it, and he's going to try to create a world. None of us could have done that. And Biggs and everything. I'm like, yo, listen, you guys focus on a lot of things that don't mean a lot of stuff. Like, this guy tried. He created a whole new way of doing things.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, could he have used a real desert? Yes. But he was showing industry.
No.
But he was showing the industry what he can do.
Yeah. So if you guys don't know, Geraldo has a background in film. He actually he was a student in New York Film Academy. So that's why he's so into the background stuff.
Why don't you just give everybody his social too while you're at it?
Yeah.
I'll get my background up.
I know.
Yeah, right.
You guys can go follow him on Instagram. We'll put his Instagram in here as well. But no, I mean, with the Ahsoka and what you're saying, Rob, with the timeline, I totally agree with that. I totally agree that there was a plan in place for all of this to be rewritten. I'm still saying rewritten. I know it's rebooted and done in a different way, but I think rewritten. The way they gave a send off to Luke, the way they did all that stuff, it just
was garbage. And I know you're a big. I know, Geraldo, you're a big Luke fan. I know you're a big Luke fan, as you named your son. I mean, what was your thought when you saw that in TLJ, The Last Jedi? I mean, what was your thought?
I don't know, man. I felt like it was really like I said, like they were just trying to close the chapter. They weren't trying to do anything special.
They were rushing it.
They were rushed. Disney wanted them to finish it quickly. So
yeah. I mean, as a fan of Luke, though, you weren't a little disappointed with his send off and kind of how he threw the lightsaber. I mean, a little.
We saw Obi-Wan just die. So I feel like I got way more with Luke. I think with Obi-Wan just vanished.
Well, no, I mean, you got a whole bunch of Obi-Wan in the prequels. I mean, they did that right. I mean, they fixed that.
The prequels. You got to remember, we didn't have that. So
yeah.
When you look at the original movie, here comes this guy who's supposed to train the Last Jedi, and he gets killed the first movie, and not even like some crazy fight. He just disappeared. He gave up. The way it looked like he just gave up.
But that's the thing.
So
So yeah, that's my thing is it's like, I know you're a Luke fan, and that's why I keep asking, because I guess there has to be some sort of disappointment, because if you obviously the original trilogy, Luke was very hopeful. He was that beacon of hope. You see The Last Jedi, you just see this whole trilogy. He's the opposite of what a beacon of hope would be.
well, he
And the
became
confusion
he
too.
failed. He failed. He got this. He saw what his dad was. He saw what his dad became. And then he saw his nephew going almost the same way, right? He started getting all these visions and stuff like that. He was like not having it. So he
but that's the
literally went
thing.
to get into his tent to kill him. So
But that's the
Luke,
thing. I don't. That's the thing. Yeah, but that's the thing. We know of Luke being this big grand Jedi master. I just still can't fathom and marinate on the idea of this, of making him out. And one of the people said, I went on live with it, a bitter hermit old man going in to kill a young kid. I just don't. That's not the image I always had of Luke. Like reading books and reading comics, that's not who Luke
Yeah,
was.
the way
That's
he
not
was so
even what
hopeful about his dad should have been the same hope that he had for
exactly
his
my
nephew.
point. If you remember, I mean, again, you see in Return of the Jedi, he was still, even at the end
yeah,
with
but this,
Vader, he brought Vader to back to the light. You know how powerful that was? That was a powerful moment within the Star Wars like fandom right there. The fact that he turned Vader. He turned Vader.
yeah, but like he also didn't train Vader. He went in there saying that he was going to turn his dad back. He that was his goal. So
But he did. He
so
did. But that's the thing. He did.
all he did was not make that final move to get to the dark side. So he didn't do anything. Specifically, he didn't do anything at all. He just said he chose the light side, and he knew that if I chose the right side, it would impact his heart because he saw good in him.
Right.
So that's all it was. So when with his nephew, he trained him, and everything was kept failing. Think about it. His sister gave up training because she knew something was happening. But all this stuff was already happening. So with him, he failed it. Then he didn't want to kill him, obviously, but like what he's gonna do, his nephew just saw him.
But you see,
him.
I guess so
this is
like,
the thing, though. I gotta figure something out.
And
that's what he did. He went to try to figure it out.
Yeah, no, and I guess that's where for me the flaws with the writing of the sequels, and not like, listen, I still love this. I still like the sequels. I just feel like it could have been a better job done in a sense of Luke, right? I just feel like I didn't want to see that shouldn't have been an image of Luke, because that wasn't who he was all along. And when you watch this trilogy, it was like basically that hope, that spark of hope that they spoke of in the originals, it was all gone. And that's something that George Lucas always preached. And again, obviously he didn't have the rights on that. That wasn't even his image. And I even posted it. Look this up. The book. I mean, you guys could go look it up as well.
Yeah.
Colin Trevor. It was actually supposed to be the writer for Episode 9, and it was supposed to be very different. And we got a different image from J.J. Abrams, but that's a whole nother story. But just in general, it goes to show you the kind of like the decisions were just very doubtful, and you can tell. I mean, look at Daisy Ridley. I'm sure you pay attention to her. She just came out and said she solidified.
She had no idea.
She didn't even know that she was a Palpatine till Episode 9, dude. So then that tells you that the movies themselves.
And I'm sorry to
they had no idea.
I'm sorry to cut you off, Rob. It wasn't even that. It wasn't even that she didn't know. It wasn't written at all, ever.
Yeah.
So nobody knew. Yeah. So it was just like her parents, like they were gonna be like, oh, her parents are like her parents, whatever, who knows? And then all of a sudden, oh, Palpatine's daughter.
Yeah.
Granddaughter.
Granddaughter. Yeah, because to be honest, dude, I was really hoping more. And if you guys like go check it out, I mean, I know you like comics too, Geraldo. Check this out. Colin Trevor wrote it, and this is the actual scripture that they're putting on a 7 comic book series where Rey, Daisy Ridley, was actually a Tusken in disguise on Jakku, which would have made more sense, because you cannot give this person who randomly you find her and she just all of a sudden in a snap is Force sensitive.
Yeah.
She didn't even have like It just didn't even make sense, dude. Like, fine, we already know Han Solo wanted to die. I'm sure you know he was already invested in the Indiana Jones movies. He wanted to die since the first episode, so that he did, which was in '79, New Hope. So I get that, but I just feel like with Luke overall, it was just an injustice. That's all I'm saying. I don't know if you can agree, but yeah.
I mean, I would have loved to see him go fighting, but I mean, who was he gonna fight? There wasn't. He was gonna fight his nephew again. That fight was reserved for Rey. So like, I think that I like the fact that he went into the Force. He chose his death pretty much.
Well, yeah, the other thing was like he's not really dead, and like they were trying to come up with all these different things about that, and it was too much at that point.
I'd rather see young Luke. I really don't, like
prime
to be
Luke.
honest,
like right now, what we're getting, a prime Luke of now. That's what I want to see.
Like I wouldn't have mattered to me if any of them was in the last 3 movies, to be honest. You know what I'm saying? Like I wanted more Darth Vader to be more in the movie, but we didn't get none of that.
Yeah, and that's one of the things that was missed out on. Like and it's cool because in these new comics, in the scripture that was supposed to be, check out the Instagram on my Instagram, dude. Or look him up. Andrew Weinger posted up of Kylo actually was supposed to fight Vader. When he goes into a cave, he was supposed to fight Vader, which I thought would have been a really cool scene to get in these movies. And I thought that was something we would have gotten, where Kylo would have fought Vader. That's what I was expecting out of all these movies, because they kept promoting Vader a lot. And the fact that we just got a voice of him in in all of them, all we got was the helmet. What the hell do I care about a helmet for? Dude, I want to see that saber ignite.
And now we get the same director that directed that film, and he's doing 3 movies with Disney.
Yeah, new trilogy.
New trilogy himself. So it's not going to be a JJ and then him, then back that. No, it's going to be secluded just for him, and the rumors are like now confirmed. So, and then on top of that, we're also getting a reboot of that on Disney Plus as well. A 3-season, 10 episodes each?
Yeah,
Rob?
10 episodes. Yeah.
So we're going to see something different too on that too. How do you feel about that?
Like those movies, the same movies, just done differently?
No, so it's a reboot, meaning like they have unseen footage of Han, Luke, Leia, as I said before.
So their perspective.
They're changing it up. So basically, what most probably is going to be done, like I said, that whole world between worlds, the whole Filoni universe is going to play out in this, because now we could possibly get Ahsoka and Luke together.
So they're going to redo 7, 8, and 9.
Yeah, in a series. In a
10-episode series.
Yeah.
So that it can go into.
Well, they should read the
Ryan, whatever.
I think we should move on. Let's just get new characters, to be honest.
But that's the whole point, right? Because Ryan, the director,
Johnson. Yeah.
He is basically hope. Supposedly the hope is that changes up everything, so that years later he can have a whole brand new storyline that makes sense with what happened there.
Yeah, because he's supposed to be doing something. So, supposedly we don't know really what he's touching on, but I think what they're trying to lead forward towards with him is they're saying whatever he's bringing out is a whole thing of new characters that we've never heard of. So this could be possibly post the Skywalker saga. So I think with what happened with the fans and everything that went on with Kathleen Kennedy, I think they want to kind of basically fix that up, and then just because again, so the sequels are still going to be there. I think this was the perfect way to do it. As you know, Marvel, it's going to be what is that called? A multiverse. That's what it is. You're going to have 2 different universes. So you're going to have the TV shows, then you're going to have the sequels. So that's all it's going to be. So you're going to have the reboot with Ahsoka. That's what I was saying before. You got this whole thing with the Filoni universe of Ahsoka coming back. That's a whole different universe. And then you have the Revenge of the Sith, and then the sequels. That's its own thing. Your thoughts on that?
He just blew his mind. That's what we're trying to say. This ending of this episode, we knew it was going to blow your mind a little bit.
Yeah.
I don't know, to be honest.
Drink some water, bro. Just drink some water.
I don't know. I just feel like maybe they're just doing too much at this point.
And we are not promoting Poland spring water.
Yeah.
Or late night coffee.
Late night coffee. No, you got to be honest. Like, I felt, and once I heard the theory, that Rob brought up, it made sense. It made sense Filoni's part, and it made sense on Jon Favreau's part. Him being so invested into Marvel, I can see this happening.
Yeah.
We'll see, to be honest, because I mean, them two together, that's godlike almost. So,
well, I mean, look at it like this.
Anything they put their name on, I'm gonna watch.
Hands down. I mean, Jon he's great, dude. I mean, he's a great director. I mean, you saw it. I mean, with Iron Man, right? I was watching a thing.
We
on
saw
it
with Elf. That's enough.
Well, that too.
Yeah, I know Elf was enough.
Elf was enough. I'm good with Elf. There you go. That's so funny.
Oh man,
I think to be honest, I feel like they're so talented that they don't really need to do the old stories. I think they can really just continue on doing something else.
Yeah,
I would love to see, to be honest, what is Star Wars without the Force, right? So like, what's gonna happen? Somebody's always gonna try to be evil. Someone's always gonna be trying to be, what is the mission of the Sith? We don't know what the mission of the Sith is. To take over everything that's good, but the Empire, it didn't work out doing the Empire thing. So how are they gonna do that now? So I feel like if they just move on with that stuff and just give us just a lot more detailed adventure, I think that's gonna be better than having anything else that they can show us. Because think about it, 40 years, 50 years of the same storyline, like that, it's not gonna work for Marvel. You know what I'm saying? So I don't think they should continue. I think they should just scrap it and move on. I like the Ahsoka. I like the fact that they're coming out with Bad Batch, because it has nothing to do with Luke. It has nothing to do with that. It has to do with everything that's going on in that world. But again, that war, we've been watching it forever. I think it's time to move on. I think it's time to find out what this universe can really offer us.
Yeah, that's true. I like that. Yeah.
So as we heard, we want to see something different. We want to see something cool, and getting a different insight on the outside as well is awesome. I mean, the perspective of me and Rob, I know Rob, he's very intellectual when it comes into comics and novels and all that stuff. And we all appreciate that, and getting a new sight of it. Geraldo, we thank you for being on with us. Anything else you want to let everybody know out there?
Yeah, let them know what you got going on, what you have planned. Floor's yours.
No, everything in my life is a secret.
Actually is not. We can promote one thing that will be coming soon. Do you want to announce that on this, or you want to wait?
Our candles?
Yeah, why not?
Okay, well, we're, me and my wife were starting a candle. It's called Cosmos. It's not spelled like it sounds. It's spelled like it sounds, but it's not the regular spelling of Cosmos. I'm obviously, obsessed with space. So we are creating these candles for homes with pets, kids, natural, and the first one should be releasing soon. So if you follow me on my Instagram, wherever they end up putting it.
Just put one point. Just point one place. We'll put it right there.
Dana White.
Exactly where Maul got cut off, right there.
If you follow me, you'll see that happening, and then we'll go on from there.
Yeah. But, so there might be a solos post scented candle.
And there might be a scented candle giveaway.
Oh,
okay, I'll take that.
We'll
okay, all right.
We'll figure that out. You got 400, subscribers. So one of them gotta have a house that smells.
One of them has to have a dog or a kid.
We just lost that one guy. We lost that one guy that has the house that smells.
He's coming back, bro. He's coming back. You can't let go.
That's so funny.
No, but we really appreciate you coming on. Anything else, Rob?
I get to take out all my toys. So
yeah.
They're usually in a box, and nobody can touch them. But so there you get to play. I just built this.
They came out to play, bro. They came out to play.
Let's since we're talking about the prequels today. So this is the fight with Anakin and Obi-Wan. And look, they just fly on that.
Oh, that is so cool. Oh, and it fell. That is so cool, dude.
So that's my thing.
That is dope. That's dope.
I just spent 2 hours on that today, so thank you.
Oh, that's awesome, dude.
Dude, two hours well worth it, bro. 2 hours well. We want to thank you guys for tuning in to the Solos Post today. We were so excited to have Geraldo a part of the team today.
Darth Asteroid, bro. Darth Asteroid.
Darth Asteroid.
I'm just saying.
We have a lot of things planned. We're gonna post his Instagram down below. We're actually gonna start merch very soon, me and Rob. So we're excited for that too. Yeah. But we thank you guys. Please hit that notification bell so you guys can get new videos. Hit the like button, please, because we need the algorithm to work with us, and hit the subscribe button as well so we can give you guys more content. Thank you guys again for tuning in. May the force be with you.
Thank you so much, guys. May the force be with you. Peace.